It's now summer, and many of us have summer breaks, but the break that our South Carolina legislature has enjoyed for the last couple of weeks is coming to an end, and some of our local representatives are busy, and that includes Representative Gagnon from Abbeville, who's on our House Ways and Means Committee. They have been meeting this week to prepare for budget discussions. Representative John McCravey will be meeting with a subcommittee of the House Judiciary System to discuss the Department of Parole, Pardon, and Probation. And then next week, the House and the Senate get started on budget deliberations. So I would like to focus our discussion, my report that is, today on the environmental progress on legislation that was made by our legislative leaders this year. I will start with the Pyrolysis or Plastic Melting Bill 525 that we've been talking about, sponsored by Gambrell and Garrett. It states that advanced recycling businesses will be classified as manufacturers rather than solid waste management businesses, and will therefore be monitored by DHEC, and it has passed both the House and the Senate. It is now in a conference committee to resolve the differences between the House and the Senate. The House wants it to be bonded. In other words, the business will have to provide money up front for 5 years to pay for cleanup if there should be some hazardous materials spilled into the environment. The Senate wants 3 years. This bill will most likely become law. This is an industry that South Carolinian lawmakers really want to bring to the upstate. Not only do Garrett and Gambrell want to bring it to the Lakelands area, but there are other lawmakers who want to bring it to the areas north of Columbia. That brings us to Senate Bill number 2, which is known as the DHEC Breakup Bill. It is sponsored by Senator Peeler, Senator Malloy, McElveen, Senn, and Kimbrell. And even though these are very powerful lawmakers, this bill is still in the Medical Affairs Committee, which is where our Senator Garrett is on the committee. This would create a Department of Behavioral and Public Health, and then take the environmental issues and responsibilities and transfer them to the Environmental Control of the Department of Agriculture and Department of Natural Resources. Our environmental groups that are active in South Carolina are not real happy about environmental issues getting pushed to the Departments of Agricultural and Natural Resources, but this will be coming up again in January. Also, there will be within this Department of Behavioral and Public Health a division for substance abuse. So I just want to make note that this bill is supported, has bipartisan support, and I think it will gain momentum in January. All right, so that if you have an electric vehicle, and you're wondering about how things are going on charging stations, we have signed into a law, the electrical vehicle charging infrastructure law, which says that electrical charging stations are not electric utilities and cannot be managed as such. They're founding a joint commission on the electrification of transport. So we are slowly getting in place a regulation of renewable sources of energy and alternatives to gas and coal energy. So we are making progress in the clean energy area. And finally, the response in South Carolina about climate, severe climate issues, which you will never hear that language used by our lawmakers, but they will talk about flooding. And after 5 years of unprecedented flooding in our state, they have founded the Office of Resilience. This is Senate 259, the South Carolina Resilience Revolving Fund Act. And what this does is it incorporates the current Disaster Recovery Office into the Office of Resilience. And the head of the Disaster Recovery Office, Benedict College graduate Ben Duncan, is the new chief of the Office of Resilience. He will oversee statewide planning for addressing flood risk and mitigation efforts. According to the Pew Charitable Trust for Flood Prepared Communities initiative, for every $1 we spend for hazard mitigation, we can save $6 in future disaster costs. And is estimated by the year 2045, we will have 16,000 homes that will be regularly flooded due to extreme weather events in South Carolina. The funding for this year included the salary from Mr. Duncan and nothing else, but they said that the funding for the Disaster Recovery Office would be transferred into this new office. Representative Goldfinch from Murrells Inlet and Senator Goldfinch and Senator Marlon Kempson from Charleston co-sponsored this bill. So it is bipartisan. Senator Kempson also has another bill signed into law by government that lets local governments like Charleston use hospitality taxes to pay for flooding and drainage projects in tourist areas. When it comes to legislation dealing with environmental issues, it seems that in the Senate, the Agricultural and Natural Resources Committee is the path that these bills have to go through. We have Senator Clymer is head of that. We have Hartpoolian, Davis, and our own Senator Garrett on that, among others. And in the House, it seems that these environmental bills tend to go through Labor, Commerce, and Industry. And then the Ways and Means is an important committee, and our representative from Abbeville, Gagnon, is on that one. So unfortunately, we didn't get around to laws that would deal with plastic pollution in South Carolina. They're really eager to get the advanced recycling of plastic going, and that was all that was done on plastic pretty much for this half of the 2-year session. And let's hope next year we can do more about reserving our natural resources and doing something about contamination of the environment with plastic resources. So thank you so much for your attention this year, and I hope that you have a good summer and leave where you go better, cleaner and better than the way you found it. Thank you.